Hi there everybody, Dina here, and this week I have a fun project. So much fun. I have used in a few of my videos some homemade vanilla extract. That's what this lovely bottle is here. And today I'm sharing how I make it. It's very easy, don't be intimidated, and this is so fun and affordable. You know, the cost of spices and extracts, they've gone up just like everything else. If you've watched me bake anything in other videos, you'll notice that I use my own homemade vanilla extract, and that's what this is here. And today I'm sharing how to make it, along with lemon extract and a super special holiday extract that just takes a few ingredients and is amazing. We're coming up on the holiday baking season, and this is just a really fun project. You can make this ahead to give away as gifts, put them in really cute little pretty bottles, bottle them up, give them as gifts, or just keep a large batch of it in your own kitchen for your holiday baking. So much fun and so easy to do. Let me show you first how we're going to make the vanilla extract. Now, extract is a little bit time intensive. It's not labor intensive, it's very easy, but it does take time. It takes time for your vanilla or your spices or your fruit to sit in the liquor and, you know, impart or infuse its flavor. Actually, this one I started in January and didn't start using it until around August or September. And I love this stuff. It's so good in all of my baked goods, and it's so easy to do. Now, I will say that if you don't want to use liquor, you can make an alcohol-free extract with food-grade glycerin. This is just my preferred method. I like the liquid that it adds to the dish, and I like the way it cooks versus the glycerin-based ones. You may prefer the other one, but if you are avoiding alcohol completely and don't want to use, 80 proof alcohol in your kitchen or have it in your house, hey, I understand. Get the food-grade glycerin and use a recipe like that. But do it. I mean, it's so much fun, and it's so rewarding to make some of your own things like this. And once you have your own homemade vanilla extract, you will want to do this year after year. You won't want to go and buy this stuff at the store, especially the imitation stuff. You won't buy that anymore after doing this. So we're going to be starting with our vanilla extract. And the only thing you really need are your vanilla beans and some 80 proof alcohol. I have vodka, that's what I prefer, just because it's completely flavorless, and whatever you put into it to extract the flavor out, like vanilla or lemon or cinnamon or ginger, it's going to taste like that. It's not going to taste like, the alcohol. And after your alcohol has set with the extract ingredients in it, like the vanilla, some of the alcohol is going to dissipate. So over time, it's not going to be like straight alcohol. Like, to me, to drink something like this, I think maybe it tastes kind of like, rubbing alcohol. It's not good, but it turns into something amazing when you give it a little bit of time. So you just need your alcohol, your vanilla beans or lemon peels, or your ingredients for any other extract, just a little bit of those. And you'll need some kind of airtight container. I like to use empty alcohol bottles that I get from friends and family. You can use a mason jar. You can use one of these little jars that have the locking lids. Just make sure that whatever you put your extract in, you're going to be able to turn like this, because you're going to need to come in and occasionally shake or stir them. So you just want to make sure that whatever you use has an actual airtight lid. This brand is good. Anything with a plastic resealable cap is good. I like these bottles. If you drink alcohol, you'll know which whiskey this is. But I just love these bottles. They're so pretty, you know, and you might have a friend or a family member that drinks this. You can get an empty bottle from, especially like after the holidays and people have gone through their holiday, you know, festivities. You'll be able to find a few empty bottles, and there are all kinds of really pretty liquor bottles. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is our vanilla extract. And I just have some vanilla beans that I ordered online. If you order them online, these are Madagascar vanilla beans. You can get Mexican vanilla beans or these. There are several types that you can get. I prefer these for extract. They have a pretty strong flavor and they're not terribly expensive. So these are just some organic vanilla beans that I ordered online, and I ordered like 50. And you just want to make sure, like when you get them, they're still kind of juicy. You don't want them to be dried out. You can see how this is like flexible and juicy. So I'm going to do this large bottle for vanilla extract. So all you need to do is, oh goodness, oh no, oh dear, oh dear, and I'm home alone. Ah, there it goes. I knew I'd get it. Okay, all you need to do is make sure your bottles are nice and clean. You're going to put 80 proof alcohol in there, which is probably going to kill any germs or bacteria, but I'm telling you, just make sure you're starting with a clean bottle. And for this size bottle, I'm going to use about 7 vanilla beans. And they're about this size. If you have larger ones, you can probably get away with like 4 or 5. But you just want to cut them open down the middle, just cut a slit, and that's all you do, just pop them in there. And it smells amazing. It smells so amazing. The smell of fresh vanilla, oh, it smells so good. And with the rest of my vanilla, I'm going to make, since I have all of this, now you can make several large batches if you get this much vanilla, but what I'm going to do with the rest of my vanilla here is I'm going to store a few in the freezer to keep fresh, and the rest I'm going to soak with 7 or 8 dates and let them soak for 20 to 30 minutes and blend them into a paste and keep that in the refrigerator. And that's just really good for adding. You can add that also to your baked goods, or you can add it to like your plant-based yogurt for vanilla yogurt. It's just a really strong, like a sweet vanilla paste. So it's also good to have on hand. So let's get these guys in here, and you just want to slit them open so they're little vanilla bean seeds inside can impart all of their flavor, because that's where the real flavor is at. And that's all you have to do. We're going to cover this with alcohol, and when you're making an extract or a tincture, you'll just want to make sure that, let's see, I think we can probably pop this top off too. We don't need that. We don't need that guy. So I may need a funnel, but maybe not. It's a little bit of, no, I think I can get away with no funnel. So with making tinctures or extracts, you'll just want to make sure that whatever spice or seed or whatever you're extracting or making a tincture out of, you'll just want to make sure that it's completely covered. So that looks good to me. And this guy will just, oh, wrong lid. And also the liquor, the alcohol, it does not have to be the most expensive one. You can use a cheaper, more affordable vodka like this one. You don't have to use, you know, the Grey Goose or anything like that for making extract. You can use the more affordable one, but I will say don't use the very, very cheapest one because, you know, those just aren't good. So get one that's like mid-grade, or, you know, this one's pretty cheap. It's one of the cheaper ones you can buy, but I've used it successfully, and you cannot tell the difference between this bottle and the one that's like $10 or $15 more. So that's the one I go with. So you'll see we're completely covered in there. And what you'll want to do is just sit this in a cabinet, just sit it in there, and about once or twice a week, just come through and turn it once or twice a week. And in about 8 weeks, you will have a usable extract. That being said, the longer you let it sit, the deeper and richer the flavor of the vanilla will be. And I like to let mine sit at least 6 months before you use them. A year is better. So if you're doing this year at the holiday time, maybe get a couple of girlfriends or family members together to make some extracts. You'll have it next Christmas baking season that you can share, and it will be perfect. Don't forget at least once a week to stir it though. And you just want to put it like out of direct light in the back of a cabinet or in your pantry where it's just not sitting in light. So I'm just going to store mine down here in my little cabinet, in my little island is where I like to keep it, because this is where I do most of my baking. And it's done. And how pretty is that? It's just such a pretty thing to have. So in a short period of time, this is what you'll have. It will turn from this to this, and you'll be ready to bake with it. So the next one I want to share is the lemon extract. And I'm just going to use this little jar here. I just have 2 organic lemons that I have gone ahead and washed. And I'm just going to cut the peels off in large sections. You'll want to try to get mostly only the zest and not too much of the pith or the white part, because that's, you know, where the bitterness is. I love lemon baked goods. One of my all-time favorite cookies before going vegan was the cookie at Panera Bread, the lemon cookie with the white chocolate chips. And I think it had macadamia nuts. I don't know. I haven't been able to really perfect that cookie, but I make a lot of really delicious lemon desserts. So I like to have lemon extract on hand, and I like to make my own because the lemon extract that you get in the grocery store is usually an artificial flavor, and it's usually just like artificially flavored and has citric acid. So nothing wrong with citric acid, it's just that it doesn't give you that like true lemon flavor. You can always taste that it's a little bit artificial. And I am going to use these lemons. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but don't worry, I'm not going to waste them. So, come on, guy. And if you want to get fancy with the lemon, you can, you know, peel it around in a nice spiral and, you know, make it look real pretty in the jar. But I chose the wrong knife to do that. This knife just isn't sharp enough for that. All right, we have our little lemon peels in there, and just like with the vanilla, we're just going to cover this in the vodka, just so that the top is covered by about 1/8 of an inch or so. And that looks good. Smells amazing too. And we're just going to sit him to the side. And how cute is that? So cute. Okay, and on to the holiday extract. This one is something special, and I highly recommend that you give it a try. And this will probably sit all the way until next Christmas. I won't use this Christmas. This is just something amazing to have on hand, and let me tell you what's going in it. I'm going to use about 3 vanilla beans. I have about a 1/4 cup of dried cranberries. I have 3 whole nutmegs, 4 cinnamon sticks, and I have some ground spices. Now, it's better if you can find these whole, but I couldn't find them whole and I was out of them whole. So I have the ground version of cardamom, cloves, star anise, and ginger. Now, if you can find the candied ginger, that's what I really like to use in here, but I have not been able to find any lately, so we're going with this. And the only thing you need to keep in mind when you use ground spices in an extract is just that when you're ready to use it, when it's cured, as long as you want it to cure, you want to strain these things out. And you can do that with the vanilla also. When you're ready to use it, you can go ahead and strain the vanilla out, but I go through it so quickly. I usually I don't bother doing that with the vanilla because I do use it up pretty quickly. So I'm just going in with my 3 vanilla beans. And this will turn such a beautiful color. And it's so good in all of your holiday baked goods and your holiday drinks, you know, your hot cocoa, your vegan eggnog, your hot apple cider. This is just an amazing thing to have on hand. So in with my vanilla beans and my dried cranberries and all 3 of my whole nutmegs and 4 cinnamon sticks and all of my dried spices. And again, that's cardamom, and I have about a teaspoon of each of these. So cardamom, ginger, star anise, and clove. Oh, that smells amazing. It smells like the holidays in here. And again, just going to cover that with some alcohol. And once this cures and you strain it, you'll see that it turns this really lovely deep red color, and it's so perfect for the holidays. And I think I had a lid. Somewhere I had a lid. All right. I gotta make sure that's on there. I gotta make sure that's on there all the way. It's going on crooked. I'm traumatized, you guys, because the other day, I wanna make sure that's on there, because the other day I went to get some carrot juice out of the refrigerator, and without checking the lid, I just gave it a big shake, and carrot juice went everywhere. Oh, it was such a giant mess. So my husband says I'm terrible about putting lids on properly, so I've been trying to, you know, do better about that. Okay, so these are all 3 ready to just sit in my cabinet, hang out together, have a little extract party down there in the cabinet, and they will be perfect to use in all of my holiday baking, and I cannot wait. So now that we have all of these extracts, let me share with you a little coffee cake recipe that can be put together with the vanilla extract like that. So to make our quick and easy vanilla coffee cake, I'm going to start with the streusel topping. And if you've never made a streusel before, it's super easy. This one's very easy. I just have a cup of uncooked oats, a tablespoon of vegan butter, and a tablespoon of cinnamon. And I'm just going to add that to a bowl. Now, if you don't want to use the vegan butter, you can certainly use tahini or almond butter or cashew butter. Any of those would work. And I'm also going to put in about a tablespoon of this date paste, which I made very simply by soaking some dates in hot water for about 20 minutes and blending that until smooth. Very easy. So I'm just going to go in with that, and you just want to mix this around until your butter, dates, and oats are in like a crumbly texture. And you can add nuts to this too, but I'm just keeping it super quick and easy today, just to show you a basic, quick, simple vanilla coffee cake recipe. So just mix this together. It's easiest to do with your hands if you have, you know, cold butter or cold tahini. And tahini is delicious in this, by the way. Tahini is really good in your baked desserts. Okay, and that's the texture that you're looking for, to where it just kind of, you don't want it too loose, just to where it kind of forms into a ball if you squeeze it together. So that's ready, and I'm just going to set it aside while we put together the rest of our ingredients. And that's going on the top of our coffee cake. So the rest of our ingredients are, I just have 2 cups of flour. I have my date paste, which I'll use probably about 1/4 cup of that. I have 3/4 cup of vegan buttermilk, 1 flax egg, which is just 1 tablespoon of flaxseed ground, and 3 tablespoons of water. I have 2 tablespoons of melted vegan butter, and again, you can sub that out for tahini or almond butter if you'd rather have that. And I have also going in my dry ingredients some salt, some cinnamon, some baking powder, and baking soda. And I will write the measurements all in the description down below. So let's just get our dry ingredients in there. And I'll wash my hands real quick. Okay, so I'm just going to get my dry ingredients into the flour. Give that a quick mix. And it already smells good. As soon as the cinnamon hits that, it just smells good. Okay, that looks good. In with my vegan buttermilk, my flax egg, my melted vegan butter, and about a tablespoon of our yummy vanilla extract. If I can get the lid off with my wet hands. So about a tablespoon of our vanilla extract. I almost lost that lid into there, that would have been good. And about 2 tablespoons of our, well, maybe about a tablespoon of our date. 2 tablespoons I'm gonna go with, because there isn't any other sweetener in here, so we'll go with that. And this is not a very sweet coffee cake. You can adjust that. You could add some maple syrup to this if you'd like, but I'm also going to swirl in some more date paste along with this batter. So I'm just going to get that mixed. And the batter will be kind of thick like this. So just give it a quick mix. No need to get the mixer out or the big stand mixer or any of that. This is just a simple coffee cake. Just something you can whip up in just a few minutes. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of this batter out, about 1/3 cup of the batter. So about that much, about 1/3 cup, 1/3 to 1/2 cup. And I'm going to add a couple more big scoops of the date paste into this batter and just mix it in. And I just have a brownie pan, which is like an 8x10 tray. There went my light. 8x10 tray that I lined with parchment paper, and I have preheated the oven to 350. So I'm just going in with my main part of my batter. Just get that all in there. And spread it around. Just going to dollop the rest of my date sweetened batter on top in sections, just like that. Then I'm just going to come in with my spoon and kind of swirl it together. Give it a couple swirls so it has kind of like a marble effect. I think I had a little bit more date sweetened batter than I probably needed, but that's okay. This is not a fancy cake. This is a simple coffee cake. So I'm just going to go on top with my streusel, with my crumble, streusel, whatever you want to call it. And it's going to go into the oven at 350 for this size pan and this size recipe. It only needs about 15 to 18 minutes. So after my coffee cake is out of the oven and I have let it cool on a cooling rack, I'm just going to cut a few squares and enjoy a piece with some nice hot coffee. Oh, this smells amazing. Oh, it's so moist. It's so soft and moist from all of the dates. All right, I've got a nice hot cup of coffee and my yummy little piece of coffee cake. I'm going to go sit down and enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I appreciate you watching so much, and I will see you next time.